All right, so we're gonna do an audit of this plumbing account here. Pretty good ad spend here. Looks like we're spending around $5 grand per month, so definitely a really good budget here for a plumber. Let's go ahead and bump this to 60 days and get a bigger picture view. Again, super clear. We can see we spent 10K, so honestly, this is a really good budget. Now, what I will say, and I don't have access to see this because I'm just in the pay-per-click account, but it looks like you guys aren't running local service ads. Again, perhaps you're running local service ads in a separate ad account using a separate account ID. That's great, it's fine. But in my assumption that you aren't running local service ads off the bat, you absolutely need to, especially if you're a plumber, and especially if you have this kind of budget. Like if you're spending this kind of money as a plumber, you need to be running local service ad. It is going to 10 times everything. It's probably going to get 10 times better results than your pay-per-click ever would. So I'll leave it at that, and then I'll continue the pay-per-click thing. But look, if you're not running local service ads on this account or whatever or anywhere, run local service ads next thing you do, okay? But let's jump into this. So first thing I notice here is we are under recording conversions, right? We're only tracking calls from ads and clicks to call. For anyone who doesn't know, clicks to call represents calls from the sponsored business profile, sponsored map ads, whatever you want to call it. It's the location asset. And you know what? I will say these are good results. I mean, honestly, I am impressed. I will say right now, this is a very basic setup. It's very bland, but it's actually kind of working. Yeah, the cost per lead's high, but we can always get that down. But yeah, it's working, okay? But first issue, again, we're under tracking, meaning we aren't tracking website calls and we aren't tracking form submissions, right? So we have 2 conversion goals. We're missing 2 conversion goals, right? Does that make sense what I'm saying? We should also be tracking people who go to the website and call directly. And we should be tracking people who fill out a form or request a callback on your site. So that's the first and foremost. That's the most important thing that I would go ahead and add in. Secondly is fixing the conversion tracking. Next, we do have auto apply turned on, so we absolutely want to turn these off. Looks like you're leaning on all of the auto apply settings, pretty much all of them. It's not the biggest deal, but I would deselect this one. I would deselect that one. I would actually, that's probably it. Probably these like 2 right here are the only ones that you need to deselect. Typically, I tell people just to turn them all off, but those 2 I showed you are the most dangerous, you could say. Now, of course, coming to my main issue here, we have 1 single ad group. That's it. No targeting relevancy, nothing segmented out properly. There's no search intent. Things aren't broken up by service type, yada, yada, yada. It's just 1 basic ad group. And of course, within that ad group, we're just targeting all sorts of plumbing terms. We're targeting competitors, we're targeting generic plumbing terms, and we're also targeting people looking for water heaters and stuff, right? There are 200 keywords in here. If we filter it down, it's probably a little bit less. 50 keywords, okay. But you can see we're just targeting all sorts of whatever. It looks like you just kind of randomly started clicking add keyword. That's kind of what it looks like here, because there's just a shit ton of random stuff in here. Sure, it's all plumbing related, but 99% of this isn't even serving. I mean, look, only the first like 6 keywords actually have spend in 60 days. Then all this other stuff is nothing. So fix the targeting, fix the segmentation, have things properly built out by ad group, theme, service, search intent. Water heaters probably belong in a separate campaign. And then generic plumbing keywords can stay, but anything water heater or anything unrelated should probably be isolated and separate, right? And that kind of brings me to the next point is, there's a lack of intention here, right? Okay, so we're targeting water heater services, but our ad copy doesn't say water heater, right? Or even vice versa. I'm looking for a plumber and I see an ad that says water heater and I don't want a water heater, right? You can see where the disconnect is. So relevancy is everything here. So I would structure this way better. I'd segment it way better. I'd even consider having a second campaign dedicated to specific services, and then a primary campaign as you have now dedicated to a catch-all, or generic as I call it. It's a little like insider tip here. That is usually how we structure campaigns. We have a high volume, a catch-all generic campaign, meaning plumbers, plumber near me, plumbing company in my area, and then location plumber, city plumber, right? And then a separate campaign for all the service specific stuff like pipe repair, leak detection, clogged toilet, clogged drain, water heaters. That's 2 separate campaigns, service specific and generic, right? So definitely dial that in. Looking more here, let's see what else we got going on. I mean, yeah, okay. There's a lot of negative keywords. You could probably do better though with some phrase match, some lists and stuff. You can always do better about that. I know we're using all broad match here. I actually didn't comment on that. I think we should veer away from broad match, but the search terms here are mostly relevant. So it's not the biggest deal as long as you take care of it. Though a lot of these are competitors, so just make sure you're taking care of your keywords, your negatives, your search terms and all that. and the broad match is working now, you should continue using it. I just think you should structure here, write better ad copy and all that stuff. You will need to switch away from the, right here, you will need to switch away from the call assets here soon, as they are kind of getting out with those. Just keep that in mind. Assets and extensions here. We got the image ads. These look good. Business logo looks good. Site link. Remove these. These are dumb and basic and Google AI, right? Nothing against you. It's Google that did this, you know? So again, like, come on. Our memberships underneath a plumbing ad. It's just silly. This stuff, this is all very well done. These right here. Everything else here can probably go if it doesn't have a description. Also, kitchen and bathroom remodels. Come on, right? We don't want that. This is a plumbing company. They don't do remodels. And if they did, that's not what this ad is about. Again, this is added from Google AI because of this, which is a feature I show you how to turn off right here. More options, account level automated assets, more advanced settings, boom, boom, boom. Knock all this off, turn it all off one by one. Thank me later. Callouts, looking good. Add a couple more, have 4 or 5. Nice, nice. Nice, nice. Make sure your location's synced, and it is. That is wonderful. Look at all those phone calls it's generating. That is beautiful. Very happy to see it. Location targeting, that's fine. Let's take a look at some campaign settings. I don't know if I checked this already or not. Okay, TCPA, that's fine for right now, I guess. You should probably start trying to lower that. Let's turn this to presence only. Don't do presence or interest. Yeah, okay. Other things are good here. I mean, obviously there's some other things you can do to improve, but I think we kind of cover the gist of it. There's always, like, you know, in terms of structure, targeting, all that, this can be improved, but honestly, you have a pretty good foundation here. Things are working. You have conversion data. You need to refine it in order to actually get down the lower cost per click. Perhaps it's taking away your target CPA and probably a mix of taking away your search terms and refining things overall here. But I think this is a really good foundation. You've done some good stuff here. Just, you know, make some improvements.